My name is Maureen Kunga. I am a singer and a songwriter, a member of the band Elani. We sing really good songs. We're cool people. Cool people. I'm a cool person. The thing is, you know, sometimes, or maybe I've become a jaded person. Maybe I've become like this person who now doesn't have much hope for anything, but I've come to understand that like it is what it is. It's definitely not a favorable environment. It's not a favorable environment for anybody. We're already struggling. Here's the thing that I think the Kenyan music industry has done. We are already struggling regardless of your gender, regardless of who you are. You're struggling if you're an artist. And then on top of that, there are now human struggles that a woman deals with that for the most part men don't have to deal with. And I'm not saying that men never deal with these things, but the fact is it's really skewed negatively towards women, where even in a difficult industry which we are in, the gatekeepers are men. So when the gatekeepers are men, you find yourself in situations where something is wanted that you don't want to give, or something is needed or required of you, or there's a way that you need to be, or a way you need to carry yourself, or sex sales, or show a little leg, or what, I mean, nonsense. So I would not say that the Kenyan music industry is favorable to women. It's not favorable to anybody, but it is very unfavorable to women. I think one of the major challenges I have as a female artist is sometimes needing a male assistant, helper, savior. I hate that. I hate not being. So I'm in a group, and I think it is the biggest blessing of my life that I'm in a group that has a man in it, because I don't think that I would have been a musician to this day. The things that I have seen, the things that Waboy has seen, the things we've been told, the texts we've received, my grace, my saving grace is that Brian is there, so that when something is going wrong, or a producer is doing a stupid thing, or someone is trying to, get you to do things that you don't want to do, I can very easily move the conversation to Brian, because if you've spoken to Brian, you've spoken to Maureen, you've spoken to Wamboy. So I think one of the major challenges, and one of the things that I hate most, as much as I love and appreciate Brian, is the fact that I need him to be able to do things in the industry or go places in the industry. I can't like enter a studio. In fact, there was a conversation we're having the other day. There are studios I cannot set foot in by myself as Maureen, because I know there'll be things wanted of me or expected of me, or it will just be a toxic situation that I don't want to be in. And that's where Brian comes in, and I love him for that, and I'm so happy that he's there. But I hate that I need him. I think if there's anything I would tell a woman, a girl, someone who's trying to now come up into the industry, someone who's trying to build yourself, understand the value of who you are and what you are and what you bring to the table outside of your body, outside of sex, outside of femininity and feminine wiles. By the way, we don't always have to convince people with a smile and a wink that we can do things. It's nonsense, it's trivializing, it's annoying. I think one of the things that I did not have early on, and again, I'm so glad I was in a group, because if I didn't have it, I don't know what would have happened to me. But I didn't have the self-confidence in myself and my work as an individual and as a woman coming into this industry that is male-dominated, but I can kick ass and I can be great and I can be wonderful. I think that's something that women really need to understand. You don't need somebody to take you where you need to go. You don't need somebody to open the door for you. You can build, especially in this day and age of like YouTube and the internet and the ability to connect one-on-one with your audience. The power of the gatekeeper is going away. So if you just understand as a woman your worth and your input in the world, I think that's one of the things. Secondly, the fact is we are still in a very male-dominated industry, and we are still plagued with men who are terrible men, terrible toxic men who want to do. And I'm not like saying everybody. They are wonderful, loving, generous, honest men in this. If I were not in a band with Brian, I would not be here. So there are men like that. They're good men in this industry, but the fact is they're also really, really bad ones. So in much the same way that they're wonderful, beautiful, honest, God-fearing, good men, they're also really, really terrible ones. And I think that as a woman, it's so easy to tell. You have an intuition. You can tell who is not here for for you and your art and your growth, and you can tell. And my advice is honestly just stay away from those people. This industry is too big for one man to be the one who's in charge of everything and the be all and end all in your life. So one, understand your worth. Two, trust your gut. And three, don't be afraid to stay away. And I don't want this to ever look like an excuse where I'm saying if you go to that place then you deserve XYZ. No, I'm just saying follow your gut and your intuition, and if you need to stay away from somebody, stay away unapologetically. Don't think, anyway, you know what, no one man can control this industry, so just X and move on. I think first of all, the fact that there's such a small number of women in the arts, and when I say in the arts, I don't just mean singers like myself. I'm talking about singers, writers, producers, authors, I don't know, anything, TV presenters, radio hosts. Women are so few, and because women are so few, it becomes a boys' club. And when it's a boys' club, then you can't, you're already limited in your getting in. So one thing that I'd honestly say to any woman who's looking to come into the industry, go for it full heart, head on, go for it and see where it takes you. Surround yourself with people who are there for you, male and female. But sometimes it just has to be more female than men. And surround yourself with these powerful women who want to help you grow. For the women who are already in the industry, myself included, which is why I'm so happy that I have the opportunity to sit here today, because I want to be the kind of person to help somebody who's coming into the industry to navigate that very murky water of the nonsense that you sometimes have to go through. And I honestly want to urge, first of all, women who have been in the industry, have gone through it, have somehow made it past all that nonsense and drama into success, mold and teach and help to grow and help these girls who are coming up to prosper. That's why honestly I'm so happy to be here, hoping that my saying this and my sitting here and my admitting that there was a lot of bullshit that used to happen in my past with people flirting and pushing and trying and whatever, and the fact is that changed over time because of how the brand name grew over time. So what then happens is you're approached differently. You're approached from now the point of, okay, what can you bring to the table as an artist? Not what can you bring to the table as a woman, as a girl. So the thing is, the road is long. The road is long between upcoming and having your respect. Understand that first. But for the women who have already achieved that, can we just go back and give a hand to the people who are trying to come up in this industry? So for the girls who are coming in now, understand your worth, go for it. Because if you are not that, I always think, like, if you're 20 now and 10 years from now you'll be 30 years old, right? So you can be 30 and be the biggest TV presenter, TV host in the country, or you can be 30 and just be 30 and have quit what you were going to do. Those are the two options you have. Time does not wait. Time is going to just keep going. So don't be afraid of coming into the industry. Don't be afraid of speaking up. Don't be afraid of saying no. Don't be afraid of that. That's what I want the younger women to know. And for the people who've been here a little longer, myself included, I think it's time to step up and support and to help these girls who don't know, who think that if you don't sleep with this man, if you don't do this thing, you will not get played on the radio. First of all, that's not true. That's just what they say to get you to sleep with them. It's not true. So yeah, I hope I've answered the question. To the girl who's just out of high school, you know what? Part of the reason why, and I think this is the highlight of my life, and I've spoken to Wamboy about this before, and I'm sure Brian feels it as well, but not as much as maybe Wamboy and I do. The highlight of our lives is being able to go into high schools or into universities to talk to the girls there before they come into this industry. When you're green, when the advice that's being given to you can actually take you either one way or the other before you get in too deep. Let me just say this, that girl who maybe has written 10 songs in her mathematics book, in the back of her mathematics book, and wants to finish KCSE, next year now that there's no KCSE this year, but wants to finish KCSE and come in to a wonderful industry and has hope and has a dream and has a purpose. Let me tell you this. There is hope and a dream and a purpose in this industry. The thing is, you need to understand who you are as a woman, who you are as a human being, and understand that your value is not sexual. I think that's something that is so easy to forget, and it's entwined and intermeshed with so many issues, with self-esteem issues, with family issues, with problems at home, with problems at school, and then you feel like, okay, maybe I don't have much to offer other than my body, especially when like a man directly asks you for it, right? You are worth so much more than one night with one greasy, disgusting, horrible person who, by the way, may not even play your music anyhow. I think you need to understand a bad person is a bad person. And a bad person is a person who asks you for a sexual favor to play you on the radio. A bad person is the person who expects you to sleep with them because they're in the studio. That is a bad person. So you need to start understanding who a bad person is and remove yourself from bad people. Because like I said, this industry is full of good, wonderful, beautiful people. And we are more than ever able to connect directly with fans. I don't think that has ever, by the way, there's never been a time like 2020 if you want to engage directly with your fan base. You can engage directly. When someone shuts you down and refuses to play you on a radio station, can you go find someone else at that radio station? Because also keep in mind, there's one radio show that this person runs, or there's the morning time that this person runs of one TV station. You know what I mean? Start going for open mics. Start figuring out your way. Start performing curtain raids. That's how we started. Start performing in places that you feel like could expose you to a world of live music. Start doing those if you're a live musician. Start doing those things. But be proactive and understand that you as an individual can bring value to this thing without someone else helping you. Many people have made it in this industry without help, by the way. Many people. Why can't you be one of those people? Are you telling me you're not able to be one of those people? I think that our value is so forgotten so easily. In fact, I'll do a whole video about that now. In fact, maybe we'll sit down and do another episode of Vibe Nabenali about self-esteem and understanding that you're so much more than sex. So much more than that. And I think if there was one thing I could tell somebody who's coming in to this industry, it's understand that your value is, and your worth is in your brain and in your talent and in your inner beauty and in your growth. And all those things sound so cliche, but it's absolutely true. You do not have to sell yourself to get your music sold. You do not.